Welcome to all of you. We are going to start the paper number 2, that is linear algebra. Uh, it's paper number 1, not paper number 2, linear algebra. The first chapter of the paper is what? Matrices and system of linear equations. So the first definition is echelon form of the matrix. A matrix is said to be in row echelon form, or just say in echelon form if the following properties are satisfied by that matrix. First property is what? Uh, if there is any row consisting entirely zero, then they place together at the bottom of the matrix. If there are zero rows in the matrix, then they must place together at the bottom of the matrix. If a row does not consist entirely zero, that is, if the row is non-zero, then first non-zero element must be one, and this one is called leading one of that row. So first non-zero element in every non-zero row must be one, and that one is called leading one. And the third property, in two successive rows, the leading one of lower row is to the right of the leading one of upper row. That is, the leading one of lower row must be to the right at one place or two place to the right of the leading one of upper row. And if these three properties are satisfied by the matrix, then we say the matrix is in row echelon form. For example, these are the examples of row echelon form, or just say it is in a echelon form. Row echelon form and echelon form both are same. That is, only say echelon form of the matrix or row echelon form of the matrix. So these matrices are in a row echelon form. So if you observe these matrix, first matrix, then what is your observation? There is only one zero row, and it is situated at the bottom of the matrix. If there are this is not necessary that in a row echelon form uh, the zero row exist. The existence of zero row is not important in the row echelon form. If the row is if the in the matrix, if the row is zero row, then it is at the bottom of the matrix. And if you observe the first three row, these three rows are non-zero rows. And if you observe the first non-zero element of the row, it is 1. That is, this is the, if you observe first row, this is the 1. The first non-zero element is 1. First non-zero element is 1. And this one is called leading one. So the in the first row, this is leading one. In the second row, it is leading one. This one is leading one in the third row. And if you observe the leading one of row number 2, then it is at the right of the leading one of upper row. It is not below the leading one of upper row or to the left of the upper row. So if you observe the third row and second row, then the leading one of third row is to the right of leading one of upper row. It is not below the leading one of upper row, or it is not to the left of leading one of upper row. That is, this one is, if at this place, then then we say the matrix is not in echelon form, row echelon form. So the leading one of lower row must be to the right at one place or two place. The leading one of lower row is at this place or this place or this place. Okay, so these three properties are satisfied in this matrix, and therefore this matrix is in echelon form. Similarly, if you observe the last matrix, this is also the matrix in echelon form, or the matrix is in row echelon form. Why? Because if you observe that there is no zero row, but all the three rows are non-zero rows. And if you observe the leading one of observe each row, then in each row the first non-zero element is 1, and that is leading one. And if you observe the second row, then leading one of second row is to the right of the leading one of upper row at one place. And if you observe the third row, then leading one of the third row is to the uh, right of the upper row, and at two places. Either leading one is what is two places to the right of the leading one of upper row. And so these are the examples of row echelon form. And the note is row echelon form of a given matrix is not unique. That is, if we have the row echelon form of any matrix, then answer is not unique. That's the answer. The row echelon form of any matrix is depend on your procedure. That is, uh, the two answers of a row echelon form of a single matrix may be different. So the row echelon form, reduced row echelon form, the definition of reduced row echelon form. This is row echelon form, definition of row echelon form. If these three properties are satisfied by the matrix, then we say the matrix is in echelon form or row echelon form. And the next definition is reduced row echelon form. So a row echelon form matrix is called reduced row echelon matrix. A row echelon matrix is called a reduced row echelon matrix if each column that contains a leading one has zeros everywhere else in that column. So if this additional condition is satisfied, this is the suppose fourth condition. If these three conditions and plus one, this one condition, these four conditions are satisfied by the matrix, then we say the matrix is in reduced row echelon form. So what is the fourth condition? That is first the matrix is in row echelon form, and the fourth condition is what? If each column that contains leading one has zeros elsewhere, zeros everywhere else in that column. That is, if the column contains leading one, for example, this column contains leading one, first column contains leading one. So if you observe the elements other than 1 are 0. So this condition is satisfied for the first column, that each column that contains a leading one has zeros everywhere else in that column. So this condition is satisfied for first column. If you observe the second column, this column also contains leading one, but all the remaining elements other than 1 are not equal to 0, and so this matrix is just in a row echelon form. It is not in a reduced row echelon form. So these are the examples of reduced row echelon form. So if you observe this matrix, then first this matrix is in row echelon form because all the three conditions are satisfied by this matrix, that every non-zero element of each row is 1, and the leading one of lower row is to the right of leading one of upper row, and also this condition is also satisfied for this matrix, that each column that contains a leading one has zeros where else in that column. That is, if you observe the first column, it contains leading one, and if you observe the entries in the first column, so 1 other than 1, all entries are 0. If you observe the second column contains leading one, and so other than 1, all the entries in the second column are 0. Third column does not contains leading one. So if you observe the fourth column contains leading one, and all the entries other than 1 are 0. So this matrix is in reduced row echelon form. This matrix is in row echelon form as well as in a reduced row echelon form. So this matrix, if you observe this matrix, the column number 1 contains leading one, column number 3 contains leading one, okay, and so all the elements other than 1 in column first are 0. In the third column, all the elements other than 1 are 0. So this is not leading one actually. This is not leading one. These two are only leading one. So this matrix actually, this is the identity matrix. We know that this is I3, identity matrix of order 3. This is also in reduced row echelon form. So identity matrix is the example of reduced row echelon form. Every identity matrix is in reduced row echelon form. So this is the example of again reduced row echelon form. So first this matrix is in echelon form because all these three conditions are satisfied by this matrix. Plus this condition is satisfied by this matrix. That is the second column and the third column. These two columns contains leading one. And if you observe the third column, all the entries other than 1 are 0. If you observe the third column, all the entries other than this leading one are 0. So this matrix is also in the reduced row echelon form. So reduced row echelon form of a given matrix is unique. So reduced row echelon form of a given matrix is unique. Like this, row echelon form of a given matrix is not unique, but the reduced row echelon form of given matrix is unique. So reduction of matrix to its echelon form. So we can reduce the matrix, any matrix, to its echelon form or reduced row echelon form by applying the three row transformation. That is, the first row transformation is what? Interchange any two rows, and the notation is Rij. This is the notation for interchange the two rows. So we can interchange the first and third row, then write R13. So what is the meaning of R13? Interchanging the first and third row. Then multiply all the entries of the rows by non-zero element. That is, we can multiply any row by any element. Kri. This is the operation. This is the notation to denote k. The multiplication, multiply any row by k, any element, any non-zero element. That is, k is not equal to 0. So any non-zero element, it may be negative or positive. We can multiply any row by any element. So this is the notation for that Kri. Write k in bracket or write just Kri. That is, multiply ith row by k. And the third operation is, you can multiply any row by any constant and add the row to the other row. So the notation is this: Ri plus Krj. That is, multiply the jth row by k and add the element in the ith row. So the change in the ith row. So for example, if you write R1 plus 2 R2, then multiply the second row by 2 and add in the first row. So these are the three elementary row transformations. By using these three elementary row transformations, we can reduce the matrix to its echelon form, or row echelon form, or reduced row echelon form. So the question is this: we have to reduce this matrix to uh, its row echelon form or echelon form. So in order to reduce this matrix to row echelon form, we follow the procedure that first reduce this place element, a11 place element, 11 place element to 1. If it is not, if this element is 0, suppose this element 11 place element 0, then we reduce this element 1 2 place element, 2 1 place element to 1, and then interchange the first and third rows. If all the entries in the first row, in the first column are 0, all the entries in the first column are 0, then we reduce the element 1 2 place element to 1. So, and then if you reduce this element to 1, then reduce the below element of that column to 0. So first it is 1, therefore we have to reduce this column, this element 2 minus 1 and 3 to 0. So the operation are R2 minus 2 R1. That is, multiply the first row by minus 2 and add in the second row. So change in the second row. There is no change in the first row. Multiply the first row by minus 2 and add in second row, R2 plus in bracket minus 2 R1. And we can write this operation by using this notation, that R2 minus 2 R1, right? Either R2 minus 2 R1 or R2 plus minus 2 R1. Then R3 plus R1. So we have to reduce this minus 1 to 0. So 1 and minus 1 addition is 0. So R3 plus R1. So by using this operation, we have 0 at this place. And then this element is 3. So multiply the first row, that is 1, by minus 3 and add in the third row, fourth row. So R4 plus minus 3 R1, that is minus 3 plus 3, we have 0. So make this first element 1, then reduce all the elements below that element to 0 by using this 1. So already there is 1, so we have to reduce these 2 minus 1 and 3. We have to reduce these 3 elements to 0 by using this 1, leading 1. So use these three operations. So after these three operations, there is no change in the first row as it is. The change in the second row. So multiply the first row by -2. So -2 plus 2, 0. Then -2 into -1 is +1, +1. -2 into -1 becomes +2, +1 is 3. Then -2 into 2 is -4, and -2 become -6. Then minus plus 2 minus 2 becomes 0, and then -2 into -1 becomes plus 2, and -2 is 0. Then R3 plus R1, just add the third row, first row and third row, the change in the third row. So -1 plus 1, 0. Then -1 and plus 2 become 3. -1 and plus 2 becomes becomes 1, right here 1. It is not 3, it is 1. This entry is 1. -1 and plus 2 becomes 1, right here 1. Yes, at this place 1, third row. And then 2 and -4 become -2, and -1 and plus 1 become 0. -1 and plus 1 become 0. Then the third operation, R4 minus 3 R1, that is the change in the fourth row. Multiply the first row by -3 and add in the fourth row. So -3 plus 3 becomes 0. -3 and -1 become +3, and plus 0 is 3. Then -3 into 2 becomes -6. Plus 0 is -6. Then -3 and -1 multiplication, +3 and -3, 0. Again +3 and -3, 0. Then the next operation is what? Next step is what? Reduce this element 3 to 1. So what is the operation? Either use the rows below rows, that is this 3 is in the second row, so use the third row or fourth row to reduce this element to 1. Suppose at this place there is 1, then apply the operation R2 minus R3. So 3 minus 2 becomes 1. So 1 by 3 R2. 1 by 3 R2. This is the last operation. That is multiply the second row by 1 by 3. So this is the row transformation. Apply on this matrix, that is 1 by 3 R2. So multiply the second row by 1 by 3. So we can multiply any row by any element, that is the element may be fractional element or negative element. So after multiplying 1 by 3, we have this element, this matrix. That is there is no change in the first row, second row and third row. That is first row, third row and fourth row. That is, the change is only the second row. So multiply 1 by 3 to R2. So we have the permission of multiplication of any element to any row, means we have the permission of dividing any row by any element. So 0, 1 and -6 by 3 becomes -2, 0, 0. So then we have to reduce this element 1 and 3 to 0 by using this leading 1, 1. Okay, leading 1, this is 1. And so the operation is R3 minus plus minus 1 into R2, or R3 minus R2, R3 minus R2, right? R3 minus R2, or multiply the second row by -1 and add in the third row. So R3 plus -1 R2. So and another operation is what? Multiply the second row by -3 and add in the fourth row, that is R4 plus -3 R2. And so we have this first row as it is, the second row as it is, the change in the third row. So -1 plus 1, 0, and -2 plus 2, their subtraction is 0, and we have 0. Similarly, -3 plus 3, we have 0. Then -3 into -2 become +6, and -6 become 0, and these entries are also 0. And this is the row echelon form of the matrix A. This is the row echelon form of the matrix A. or is called echelon form of the matrix A. And where to reduce, suppose this matrix A to reduce to echelon form, then if you observe this reduced row echelon form, this is the row echelon form. This one is leading one, this one is leading one. So first column and second column contains leading one. Now we have to reduce the matrix to reduce row echelon form. So uh, the fourth condition is what? That we reduce all the elements in the leading one in the column that contains leading one. If you observe the first column, then the remaining element other than this one are zero. So if you observe the uh, second column, then the second column contains leading one. So this element is not equal to zero. So we have to reduce this minus one to zero. So the operation is what? R1 plus R2, or R1 plus R2, or R1 plus minus 1 R2, my R1 plus 1 into R2. That is just added the first row and second row. So what we have? We have 0 at this place, and minus 2 plus 2 0, minus 1 plus 0 1 is minus 1, and minus 1 plus 0 is minus 1. So we have this, and this is the matrix in reduced row echelon form. So this is the echelon form of the matrix A, or this is called row echelon form of the matrix A, and this is the reduced row echelon form of the matrix B. So we can reduce every matrix to row echelon form or reduced row echelon form. So the question is reduce the matrix A to its row echelon form and reduce row echelon form. So this is the example. So this is the answer of this example. Reduce the element 1, these 2 1. So just interchange the first row and second row, because there is a 1 at this place. So just interchange the, don't apply the 1/2 R1, this operation 1/2 R1. What happens if we apply 1/2 R1? Then we have 1 at this place, but we have at this place 3/2. We have at this place minus 1/2. And if we have fraction at the first step, then the calculation may be complicated. So in order to reduce the calculation or complication in calculation, avoid the fractional numbers. So by using these operations, we have, this is a row echelon form. So this row echelon form is not unique. This row echelon form, so answer of this problem is not unique. That is because the row echelon form and reduced row echelon form are not unique. Here is the sentence that reduced row echelon form of given matrix is unique. So right here, reduced row echelon form of a given matrix is not unique. So answer may be different. Other than this is the row echelon form. By using this procedure, we can apply the another procedure, that is these row transformation applied in this example are not unique. It's depend on your thinking. That is, you can also apply another row transformations and reduce the matrix to its row echelon form. So this is the row echelon form by using this procedure, and this is the reduced row echelon form. So next is the rank of matrix. So a given matrix A, if R dash is a row echelon form of A, then rank of A is defined as the number of non-zero rows in R dash. So simple definition of rank, that rank of matrix is what? Rank of matrix is equal to the number of non-zero rows in its row echelon form, or R double dash is the reduced row echelon form of matrix A. Then rank of A is also defined as the number of non-zero rows in that matrix, or the is defined to be the number of leading entries, leading ones in R double dash. So the number of leading ones, the number of leading entries or leading ones is in R double dash is called uh, is also the rank of the matrix. So number of non-zero rows in the reduced row echelon form or echelon form is called the rank of the matrix, or the number of leading ones is also in the reduced row echelon form is also called the rank of the matrix. So in order to find the rank of matrix, we have to reduce the matrix to its echelon form or its reduced row echelon form. So if we take the example for rank as this matrix, then as this matrix suppose, so reduce this matrix to its echelon form. So this is the echelon form of the matrix. And so how many non-zero rows in this R dash? This is the non-zero rows, this is the non-zero rows, while these two rows are zero rows. So if the all the entries in the rows are zero, then we say that it is zero row. If at least one non-zero, at least there is one non-zero element in row, then we say it is the non-zero row. So this first row is non-zero row, the second is non-zero row. And so there are two non-zero rows in the row echelon form of the matrix A, and therefore the rank of the matrix A is 2. And if you observe the reduced row echelon form, then there are two leading ones in the first column, and in the second column there are leading one. So the rank of the matrix A is 2. So there are two definitions. Apply the first definition or second definition. That is the number of non-zero rows in reduced in the row echelon form is called rank of the matrix, or the number of leading ones or leading entries in R double dash, it means in a reduced row echelon form, is the rank of the matrix. So if we observe the reduced row echelon form of this matrix, and if we count the leading one, there are two leading ones in reduced row echelon form of the matrix A, and therefore rank of A is 2. Or we can observe uh, row echelon form of the matrix A, then there are two non-zero rows, and therefore the rank of the matrix A is 2. So in order to find the rank of the matrix, we have to reduce the matrix to its echelon form. So this is the example of, suppose this is the row echelon form of this matrix, then rank of A is 3. This indicates rank of A is 3 because there are 3 non-zero rows. And if this is the reduced row echelon form, then if you count the leading one, there are 3 leading ones, and therefore rank of A is 3. So these are some examples of rank of the matrix. Before that, we see these notes. It is clear that if A is a zero matrix, then rank of A is 0. That is, if all the entries in the matrix are 0, then the rank of that matrix is 0. So if the A is 0 matrix, that is all the entries in the matrix are 0, then then the rank of that matrix is 0. If A is n by n identity matrix, that is, suppose A is the matrix of order 3, then rank of A is 3. So A is n by n identity matrix, then rank of A, that is rank of In, is n. For example, if you observe every unit, this is the I3, this is I3 identity matrix of order 3. So if you observe, this is in row echelon form as well as in reduced row echelon form. So if you apply the first definition, that is the number of non-zero rows in the echelon form, so this matrix is itself in the echelon form. So there are, this is non-zero row, this is non-zero row, this is non-zero row, and so I3, this is the I3, and its rank is what, 3. And if you count the leading one, then it is there are 3 leading ones, and so the rank of the matrix is 3. So the rank of identity matrix of order n by n is n. That is, the rank of I2 is 2, rank of I3 is 3, rank of I4 is 4. The next note is what? If A is a non-zero matrix, then rank of A is greater than or equal to 1. That is, the rank of every matrix is either greater than or equal to 1 if the matrix is non-zero. The matrix is non-zero, that is, at least one entry in the matrix is non-zero, then its rank is greater than or equal to 1. If A is m by n matrix, that is A order of A is what? M by n, that is A contains m row and n columns, then rank of A is less than or equal to m, because rank of A is what? Number of non-zero rows in its echelon form, and therefore rank of any matrix is less than or equal to number of rows in that matrix. Rank of any matrix is what? Is less than or equal to number of rows in that matrix. If A is non-zero matrix, then rank of A is less than or equal to m and greater than or equal to 1. That is, the rank of any matrix is less than or equal to number of rows in that matrix and is greater than or equal to 1 if the matrix is non-zero matrix. So similar matrix, we say the two matrices are similar if one of them is obtained from the other by using finite number of elementary row operations. If we obtain B from A by using elementary row operations, finitely elementary row operations on A, then A and B are called similar matrix, or are also called row equivalent matrix. A and B are called similar matrix, or A and B are called row equivalent matrix. And if we define the relation as A related to B, if A is similar to B, then this relation is what? Is equivalence relation on S. That is, this relation A is similar to B is an equivalence relation, means this relation is what? Is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Then some example of the rank of the matrix. Find the rank of the matrix. This is the matrix and we have to find its rank. That is, reduce this matrix to its either reduced row echelon form or echelon form, row echelon form. So this make this element 1, then reduce this to element 0, then this place element 1, then below the element 0, then this element 1. So this is the procedure. Apply the procedure. These are the operations. That is, reduce this element to 1, then below 2 element 0, then this element 1. So just multiply by -1 to this second row. We have this, and then reduce this element plus -2 as 0, -2 as 1, because this is leading 1, then -1 of R3. This is the echelon form, or it's called row echelon form of the matrix A. And if you observe, there are 3 non-zero rows, and therefore rank of A is 3. By find the rank of A, reduce it to reduced row echelon form. Sorry, or reduced row echelon form, row reduced echelon form, or reduced row echelon form. So by applying these, this is the reduced row echelon form, and again number of non-zero rows. There are 2 number of non-zero rows, and therefore rank of A is 2. Or there are 2 leading ones, and therefore rank of A is 2. So by reducing the matrix to row echelon form or reduced row echelon form, we can find the rank of the matrix, that is just the non-zero rows in that matrix. So this is the reduced row echelon form, since there are 2 non-zero rows, and therefore rank of A is 2. So either reduce the matrix to echelon form or reduce to echelon form and just count the non-zero rows in that row echelon and is the rank of the matrix. So similar example, these are the examples of rank. Find the rank of the matrix. Find the rank of the matrix. This is the reduced row echelon form, actually reduced row echelon form, and the number of non-zero rows are 3, and therefore rank of the matrix, this matrix A is 3. So similarly, we have to find the rank of this matrix by reducing it to row reduced echelon form. So this is the row reduced echelon form, and if you observe the non-zero rows, there are 3 non-zero rows, and therefore rank of A is 3. Similarly, find the rank of the matrix to reduce to its echelon form or row echelon form. This is the row echelon form. This is not reduced row echelon form. This is just row echelon form. And again, the number of non-zero rows are 3, and therefore rank of A is 3. So find the rank of this matrix by using either reduce to this matrix to row echelon form or reduced row echelon form. So this is the echelon form, and there are 2 non-zero rows, therefore rank of A is 2. So by using elementary row transformation, finite number of elementary row transformation, we can reduce the matrix to echelon form. So just observe the notations. That is, write A, then write arrow, and write the operations below and above the arrow. So this procedure is, so just write arrow. So these are some examples for find, for the Pauling matrix, find row echelon form and reduce row echelon form. That is, we have to reduce this matrix to echelon form as well as reduce row echelon forms. And the second question is, find the rank of each the of matrices in the problem one. That is, find the rank of each matrix. And in order to find the rank, we have to reduce the matrix to echelon form. So these are the reduced row echelon form and echelon form of the these examples. This is the answer of the first problem. That is, these are the echelon form and reduced row echelon form of each matrix, and this is the answer of the matrix. Rank of second question, that is rank of the first matrix in question A is 3, rank of matrix in B is 3, is 2, in this way. That is, solve these all the examples. These are the answers of the problems. So this is about the rank of the matrix. So we'll see the system of equations and the solution of system of equation by using the method of matrix in the next lecture.